complex, evolving alliance between Iran and Russia is a topic of immense significance, impacting regional stability, global geopolitics, and military dynamics. In recent years, this relationship has undergone a fundamental shift, moving away from a patron-client structure, where Russia traditionally assumed the dominant role, to a more reciprocal partnership. This new phase is characterized by Iran's active contributions to Russia's military endeavors, strategic cooperation, and economic alliance aimed at countering Western sanctions. To comprehend this shift, it is essential to explore the motivations, strategies, and potential repercussions of this partnership for both nations and the broader global landscape. Historically, the Russia-Iran relationship has largely been one of patron-client dynamics, with Russia supplying military, technical, and economic support to Iran. Russia's provision of the S-300 missile system in 2016, part of a broader $10 billion arms deal, highlighted this relationship, underscoring Russia's strategic interest in maintaining influence over Iran while preventing it from developing its independent defense capabilities. However, the dynamics between these two nations began to shift significantly after the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, or the Iran nuclear deal, signed in 2015. The JCPOA opened up the potential for international trade with Iran, creating an environment where Iran could leverage its resources for broader cooperation. Russia sought to further develop its strategic partnership with Iran in order to counterbalance U.S. influence in the Middle East and strengthen its alliances within the region. This evolving partnership enabled Russia and Iran to collaborate in Syria in support of the Assad regime, setting the stage for deeper ties. The major turning point in the Iran-Russia relationship came around 2022, when Russia found itself increasingly isolated due to the conflict in Ukraine. Western sanctions severely impacted Russia's access to both technology and military supplies, creating an immediate need for new partners and resources. In this context, Iran emerged as a vital ally by providing Russia with military drones, including the Shahed series and short-range ballistic missiles. This development was pivotal, marking a reversal of roles as Iran became a crucial supplier of military assets to Russia, a shift that would have been inconceivable in earlier decades. The transformation was driven by pragmatic needs on both sides. Russia's reliance on Iranian drones for combat in Ukraine underscored its desperation to bypass the severe limitations imposed by Western sanctions. For Iran, supporting Russia not only helped consolidate its regional influence, but also provided leverage against Western adversaries and a testbed for its military technologies. This alliance is now distinguished by deepening military and technological collaboration. Iran's supply of drones and its assistance in training Russian forces represent an unprecedented level of defense cooperation. Iran is not only providing these assets, but is also actively engaged in technology sharing and even producing drones on Russian soil, demonstrating a mutual dependency that has strategic implications beyond mere supply-demand dynamics. Furthermore, Iran has reportedly been evaluating advanced Russian military technology, including the S-400 surface-to-air missile systems, electronic warfare equipment, and advanced fighter jets like the Sukhoi Su-35. In late 2023, Iran's deputy defense minister confirmed a purchase agreement for Su-35 jets, although the timeline for their delivery remains unclear. These developments are part of Iran's broader goal of updating its military capabilities and addressing long-standing weaknesses in its air force, bolstering both its offensive and defensive capacities in the region. The Iran-Russia partnership is not confined to military affairs. It extends into economic and technological spheres, driven largely by a shared desire to circumvent Western sanctions. In 2023, trade volume between the two nations saw remarkable growth, increasing from $1.5 billion in 2020 to several billion in 2023. This trajectory accelerated with Iran and Russia replacing the dollar and euro with national currencies for bilateral trade, effectively insulating their economies from Western financial restrictions. The first quarter of 2024 further showcased a 48% increase in bilateral trade, with Russian exports to Iran rising by 77% and imports from Iran to Russia by 133%. This growing economic integration signals a strategic alliance aimed at mitigating the impact of international sanctions. By collaborating in sectors like transportation and industry, Iran and Russia have found ways to support each other's economies, thereby enhancing resilience against economic pressures from the West. Iran's accession to BRICS in 2024, along with Russia's support, was perceived as a diplomatic victory, enabling Iran to further its strategic objectives and alleviate its international isolation while participating in a multilateral forum that includes other emerging economies like China, Brazil, and India. Iran's support for Russia has far-reaching implications, not only for their bilateral relationship, but also for the broader Middle East. The strengthened alliance between these nations allows Iran to secure its regional objectives, particularly through its influence in countries like Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon, where it supports Hezbollah. Iran's involvement in supplying missiles and drones to Russia also positions it as a military power that can assert its influence in the region, thus challenging U.S. and European interests. The support Iran has provided to Hezbollah has led to increased hostilities in Lebanon, as Iran seeks to counterbalance Israeli influence and expand its regional foothold. Recently, Iran's missile strike on Israel in support of Hezbollah marked a significant escalation, signaling Iran's willingness to use its alliance with Russia as a strategic advantage in regional conflicts. This dynamic has further intensified the United States and Europe's concerns, with both viewing the Iran-Russia partnership as a destabilizing factor. The United States and European nations are understandably alarmed by the deepening ties between Iran and Russia. The transfer of drones, missiles, and other military technologies is perceived as a direct threat, as it potentially destabilizes the Middle East, bolsters Russia's war efforts in Ukraine, and empowers Iran's regional ambitions. These concerns have led to a strategic recalibration, with the U.S. and Europe increasing intelligence efforts, diplomatic engagements, and economic sanctions, targeting Iran's ability to engage in arms transfers. The cooperation between Iran and Russia poses a dilemma for Western nations. With Iran empowered by advanced Russian technology and the ability to sustain its military capabilities, the U.S. and its allies must devise comprehensive strategies to contain this growing threat. This has led to diplomatic talks with regional allies, tightened sanctions, and enhanced support for Ukraine, reflecting a multifaceted response aimed at containing both Iran and Russia. Amid this evolving partnership, Turkey occupies a unique role as a regional player and NATO member. Turkey's relationship with Russia and Iran is marked by both cooperation and competition, as Turkey seeks to balance its interests in the region with its commitments to Western allies. Turkey has worked with Russia and Iran within the Astana Process framework to address issues related to Syria, aiming to reduce violence and facilitate political solutions. By aligning with both countries, Turkey manages to maintain its influence in Syria while safeguarding its security concerns in neighboring regions. Economically, Turkey serves as a crucial transit hub for Russian oil and natural gas, circumventing some of the Western sanctions imposed on Russia. In 2023, Turkey's re-export of oil products from Russia tripled, underscoring its strategic role as a bridge between Russia and global markets. This economic interdependence bolsters Turkey's energy security and strengthens its negotiating power with both Russia and the West. Turkey's purchase of the Russian S-400 missile defense system also demonstrates its willingness to engage with Russia, even at the risk of straining relations with NATO. Despite U.S. sanctions over this purchase, Turkey's decision reflects its desire to diversify its military capabilities and assert its autonomy. Yet Turkey also continues to cooperate with Western allies, evident in its role in brokering agreements like the Black Sea Grain Initiative, which aims to mediate between the global North and South. This balancing act is central to Turkey's foreign policy, allowing it to pursue strategic interests while avoiding direct confrontations. The alliance between Iran and Russia, coupled with Turkey's regional balancing, has created a new geopolitical landscape that challenges traditional alliances and forces global powers to reconsider their strategies. For the United States and Europe, the deepening cooperation between Iran and Russia signifies a shift in power dynamics, where regional players wield more influence and traditional power structures are increasingly contested. This shift has profound implications for global security, as Iran and Russia seek to carve out independent spheres of influence, challenging the West's role in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. For Iran, the alliance with Russia represents a way to bolster its defenses, expand its military influence, and secure its regional ambitions. For Russia, this partnership provides a critical lifeline amid Western sanctions and a platform to project power in the Middle East. By circumventing sanctions, sharing technology, and cooperating militarily, these two nations are not only strengthening their defenses, but also creating a new axis of power that could reshape global alignments. The evolving Iran-Russia partnership is a testament to the shifting power dynamics in today's multipolar world. Both nations have successfully leveraged their relationship to address domestic vulnerabilities, counter Western influence, and assert their interests in the global arena. While this alliance may be mutually beneficial in the short term, its long-term implications for global stability remain uncertain. For now, the deepening cooperation between Iran and Russia represents a significant development, one that will require careful monitoring and strategic recalibration from the United States, Europe, and other global powers. As the partnership progresses, it will likely shape the future of global alliances, redefining the contours of international relations in an increasingly interconnected and multipolar world.